As the world mourns Pope Francis, history's most secretive transfer of power begins. White smoke, the path to a new pope, guides you through this momentous transition. We explain exactly what happens next, leading to the dramatic conclave vote. Learn how each ritual unfolds, what each tradition means, and why these ancient ceremonies still matter today. Follow along as the throne of St. Peter stands empty and a new chapter in church history begins. White Smoke, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you know what a group of flamingos is called? That's just one of thousands of facts you'll discover on 5 daily trivia questions. Hi, I'm Mark Ellison. Join me every weekday for 5 mind-expanding questions about everything from ancient history to modern technology. Perfect for impressing friends or dominating your next pub quiz. 5 daily trivia questions. And the answer, a group of flamingos, is called a flamboyance. 5 daily trivia questions.
Caloroga Shark Media.
Hi there, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. Good news for an elephant calf. The elephant calf had fallen down a well in an Indian village. The calf was rescued by a team of emergency responders. They had to demolish a wall of the well so a path could be created for the calf to exit the hole. It took about an hour, and the baby elephant in the end joined his herd nearby. That's great. Deb explains why poetry is in motion. She has opened a branch of the Poetry Pharmacy. The Poetry Pharmacy answers the question, what's the cure for a broken heart? What about grief, anxiety, loneliness? For those visiting the Poetry Pharmacy, you'll find it on Oxford Street in London. They offer tonics to those sorts of emotional ailments. Deb explains at weddings and funerals, it's a poem that's read. It's the art that people in states of heightened emotion turn to. The centerpiece of the Poetry Pharmacy is a rich mahogany cabinet containing small glass bottles labeled with various emotions such as love, invigoration, pride. Others are a little more whimsical. There are pills for dithering and for existential angst. There's a glass flask set high up that says serenity, keep out of reach of children. Mittens the cat is quite the frequent flyer. Her cage was overlooked in a plane cargo hold. She made 3 trips in 24 hours between New Zealand and Australia. Mittens is 8 years old, was booked for one way. Her human Margot said she waited for Mittens to be unloaded from the plane's freight area. 3 hours passed, no cat. Then the staff told Margot that the plane had returned to New Zealand with Mittens still on board. The return trip is 7.5 hours in the air. She said, how can this happen? That's a question I would have too. Sounds like she was a lot calmer than I would have been. Luckily, the pet moving company they'd used met Mittens in New Zealand, ensured that she was back on the plane for another trip to Melbourne. Margot said, Mittens basically ran into my arms and snuggled up in here and just did the biggest cuddles of all time. Air New Zealand spokesperson said they'll reimburse all costs associated with Mittens' travel, and we will work closely with our ground handler in Melbourne to ensure this does not happen again. I hope not. Johnny Mac, you got a Guinness record for us? Sure. A 59-year-old German man was attempting to break the Guinness World Record for longest time spent living in an underwater fixed habitat. The last update I have for you is that he was more than 60 days into the attempt. He says what he misses most is a shower. His living space is about 322 square feet. He has a toilet, a TV, a computer, a bed, a stationary bike, satellite internet, and multiple fans. He says it's not particularly hard. I don't feel like I'm suffering down here at all. The hardest point is sometimes I want to go diving. White Smoke. The path to a new pope explores humanity's most elaborate and secretive transfer of power, a process now unfolding following the death of Pope Francis. This series reveals the hidden rituals, ancient traditions, and behind-the-scenes drama of papal transition. As the Catholic world enters this solemn period of mourning and anticipation, join us in witnessing how the Church has perfected this sacred process over 2,000 years, and what happens in these crucial days when the throne of St. Peter stands empty. White Smoke brings listeners inside the conclave that will determine who will succeed Pope Francis and lead the Church into its next chapter. White Smoke, wherever you get your podcasts.
You can get this podcast completely ad-free right now. If you're on Apple, just click the banner that says Uninterrupted Listening, and you'll get your first month free. If you use Spotify or other podcast players, go to caloroga.com/plus. It's just $5 a month, and you'll get access to over 20 premium shows with no interruptions. Binge listen to new series like the political thriller Acting President, Signal Lost, where military secrets land on the wrong phone, and Pager Protocol, the thriller about exploding pagers in the wrong hands. Plus, enjoy daily shows like Palace Intrigue about the royal family, daily comedy news, and 5 daily trivia questions to test your knowledge, and White Smoke, taking you behind the scenes at what's happening right now at the Vatican. You also get all our hot shows like 5 good news stories. Enjoy your favorite content without any ad breaks. Remember, Apple users click the Uninterrupted Listening banner for your free first month, and everyone else head to caloroga.com/plus. Get ad-free listening today.
A man found something on Google Earth and wants to go find it. Josh explains, while scrolling through Google Earth, I stumbled across what looked like a massive shipwreck tucked away in a secluded cove along England's coastline. Naturally, I couldn't resist the urge to go check it out myself. The hike to the wreck was breathtaking, the rugged coastal cliffs, waves crashing below. He then embarked on a breathtaking cliff edge walk. He warned, don't let its beauty fool you. This coastline is deadly. There are over 130 registered shipwrecks here. He continued, in the hidden cove, he found the shipwreck and said, it looks absolutely massive. It looks like part of the ship is broken off. He climbed on the deck. He found a door surrounded by rusting ladders and windows. He went inside, found some deserted rooms, and said, this is a crazy place, but it left me wondering, why did this massive shipwreck here? Local residents were surprised by this. One said, I live in Cornwall. I had no clue that was there. Another said, I remember seeing that shipwreck years ago. It was in a much better state. Sad how time erodes these things. It's possible it was the RMS Mülheim, a German cargo ship that ran aground in 2003. The story goes that the chief officer on watch had caught his trousers in his chair, fell over, and passed out. By the time he regained consciousness, there was nothing he could do to stop the ship from hitting the rocks. I'm not sure that was good news, John. No, but it was definitely interesting. Anyway, those are your 4 good news stories and a shipwreck for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. They might like it too. And if you would like the program without commercials, listen, I get it. But as I've been explaining to you, have you seen my heating bill? So one way you can support the show, if you're on Apple Podcasts, click the banner where it says Uninterrupted Listening. If you're not on Apple Podcasts, there's a link in the show notes. You can get the show commercial-free, $5 a month. You'll get this one, Palace Intrigue. We talk about the British royal family. Daily comedy news. I host that one 7 days a week. And a bunch of other shows. You'll get them all commercial-free for that same $5. And then no commercials. Think about it. $5? It's not a lot.